What's up guys, your driver Mike here, back with another video, and today we're talking about everything Valentine's Day weekend and Valentine's Day driving strategies. Alright, so what should you be on the lookout for Valentine's Day driving? Well, obviously, falling on a Tuesday, so really demand is going to peak after 5 p.m. when people get out of work. But if you are a daytime driver, you may still get some people bouncing between errands, doing the florist thing, getting the candies, getting things ready for that night. So if you haven't seen already, Uber and Lyft have sent us some communications about some driving strategies and some pointers and tips. Well, let me give you a little bit more insight. So of course, we're going to get the restaurant demand and we're going to get the bar demand after, but this may also be a especially good time if you are a suburban driver, if you're out in the suburbs, because some people may take a chance to have some dates within the city. So if you're starting in the suburbs and you usually come into the city to drive, maybe a good time to kind of hang in your area, and then you may get a fare into the city for date night for Valentine's Day. So where should you stage at? Okay, in my opinion, probably anytime before 8 p.m. are couples going to dinner. So you don't necessarily need to stage downtown per se. You don't need to stage at restaurants just yet. Of course, you can get the clientele that are going a little bit earlier, 4, 5, 6 p.m. dinners, and you can definitely get that. But there may be more demand, people that are further out of the city, on the outskirts, or even the suburbs, like I mentioned, that are coming into the city. So if your goal is to get longer fares, which are more dollars per mile, maybe a better place to start on the outskirts first and then work your way in later in the evening. So if your goal is more volume, if you want to do shorter rides and not put as many miles on your car, then you may want to hang downtown or near that cultural district or restaurant district where you can get maybe some shorter fares, but also keep in mind that you may get the inverse of what I just mentioned. You may get someone who is going to dinner a little bit earlier and then may take you out to the suburbs because they are finishing their night. If you are doing that, if you're starting downtown and someone does pull you into the suburbs, that actually may be a good thing, especially if it's earlier in the night, because again, you're going to have people coming from the suburbs, going back into town, going to dinner, so you may be able to double up. So kind of a funny subject to talk about, especially I would say for maybe Lyft drivers, is do I need to have anything special in my car for Valentine's Day driving? Amenities like maybe heart lights, flowers, cards, and any kind of candies, anything you can think of for last minute passengers looking to buy something. In my opinion, you really don't. Now, if you feel like you want to provide some kind of a higher level service, just for the experience sake, you could probably do that. I'm sure it doesn't hurt. But if we are looking at expenses, driver ratings, and tips, might be a little bit of a marginal boost, if any, but if you want to do it for passenger experience, that could help. So are you allowed to sell any of these items? Okay, if you have roses, if you have chocolates, if you have even cards, I don't know, are you allowed to sell those? Yes and no. Technically, you are allowed to do that, but there's nothing in Uber or Lyft's terms of service that says you cannot do that, but it's something that is kind of frowned upon, and in my opinion, kind of takes away from the passenger experience, especially if it's more kind of pushed in their face. If it's more subtle, if you just have something laying around, that may work for you. But again, tips wise, rating wise, it's going to be kind of marginal in my opinion. So it's a kind of a random Tuesday for Valentine's Day to fall on this year, but I definitely anticipate more demand than a normal Tuesday, which is honestly pretty dead, at least here in Pittsburgh. So if you are on the fence of driving, first look at your app, see how many drivers are out there. You should already know the kind of trends in your city. How busy is it on a Sunday typically? And then check your app in the evening and see if it's pretty saturated, see if it's worth going out there. Both passenger app and the driver app. Passenger app, you're going to get the number of drivers in the area, and you can move the pin around to see how many drivers are wherever in the city. And then your driver app to see if there's any surge demand, which is ultimately going to be the biggest indicator of actual demand is surge. So driving strategies. I would say for driving strategies for Valentine's Day, maybe be a little bit more in the background. Okay, for me, I like carrying on conversations with passengers, make them feel more comfortable, make them have a nice ride experience. For Tuesday, though, I would kind of anticipate you want to be more in the background again, especially if it's obviously a couple that's going out to dinner. So for the music, that should also be in the background, something that's not very noticeable. It could be easy listening, or if you have Sirius XM, you can ask them if they have any preferred station. All right, guys, that's it for this one. Good luck this weekend. Good luck on Tuesday for Valentine's Day. Remember, you can choose amenities if you'd like to have something for a passenger experience, but it's not necessary. Driving strategy-wise, try to stay in the background. Your driver Mike here. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.